Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Red Leaf podcast. Today we have got the most exciting cannabis pharmaceutical manufacturer to speak all about it, and we're talking about Bioxyne. The ticker's BXN. Jason, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, John. How are you?
Very good, and absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming up to our offices. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, Jason, tell us about Bioxyne for the viewers out there that haven't heard about it.
Well, Bioxyne is a pharmaceutical manufacturer that is manufacturing products and medicines to meet the unmet needs of hundreds and hundreds of patients. We play in the space where Big Pharma doesn't want to play. So Big Pharma is focusing on medication that has an IP protection, that has stability in the market and access to the markets. We play in a space where they don't want to play, but there's billions and billions of dollars worth of potential sales and millions of potential patients.
So tell us again, why doesn't the Big Pharma want to play there?
Okay, so for example, say the cannabis space, the MDMA space, and the psilocybin space. Cannabis is an area where there's no IP protection apart from the strains, for example, say. The biggest market in the world is recreational, being the US market. There's no protection for them. They don't want to play in a space where there's no protection for them. The psilocybin and the MDMA markets are very early days, and as a result, they're waiting for that to be a proven space before they jump in big time into it.
Now, recently you came out with really impressive numbers. Your EBITDA's improved. Talk us through your recent numbers.
So the Australian business has had a fantastic first half to the year, and that's going to continue on for the next. Our business has transitioned over the past 12 months to become more of a white label manufacturer. And by white label manufacturer, I mean we are moving to supply the complete solution for many of the companies out there that are patient facing in the Australian market. Prior to the white labeling taking off, most distributors, most clinics would go out there and source their own flower or their own medication from the cultivators and then bring that into Australia, give that to us, and we would pack that for a set fee as a contract manufacturer. But they found that they haven't got the skill set, they haven't got the time. It's not their core business to be chasing around single strain flower. They come to us, we supply them with the complete flower range. They choose what quantities they like. We can manufacture it for them and provide them with a significantly better product just in time. It makes their business easier to manage, and it makes our business grow significantly as a result.
So in comparison to your peers on the ASX, what's your competitive edge?
We have built the scalability into our business that enables us to absolutely meet the demand of the market. So we've spent the money on buying the flower, buying the raw materials. We've spent the capital expenditure on building the capacity to be able to supply the market. We've now got 3 clean rooms, for example, say in the Brisbane operation that produce packed flower. They can produce up to 6,000 to 6,500 units per day per line. That's 20,000 units. That's over 5 million complete units per annum. No one in the market can provide that level of scalability. No one can provide the speed to market for us as well. So, for example, say we have got our processing and our testing and our manufacturing down to a fine art. We can turn around an order within 2 weeks. All of our competitors are a month and a bit.
So you got that significant time advantage. So you've achieved a lot in a very short period of time with BXN. Where's the growth coming from now going forward?
We are now also expanding into the German market, which is one of the biggest markets in the world for cannabis. We're also setting up a manufacturing facility that replicates what we've got in Australia over in the Scottish borders in the UK. So we will be manufacturing to supply the UK market, and we'll be supplying German market out of Australia. Those two markets, along with Australia, are highly regulated, well managed from the point of view of the government, and have great opportunity for growth.
And you're targeting Germany because the laws in Europe, the EU, is far more accessible for the cannabis market. Is that the idea as opposed to America?
Well, the American market is closed, and until they federally regulate the industry, which is not on the horizon. That's not going to happen. The market's closed. You can't import and you can't export out of there. The Canadian market is also a recreational market, and that's where the focus is of all the big companies over there, is to supply the local market. The German market is very similar to Australia with government regulation. It's controlled. It's doctor prescribed, pharmacy dispensed, similar to the Australian market. The difference is that they have the pharmacies provide the finished product to the patients. We supply them with the raw materials in bulk. The UK market is going to mirror the Australian market, albeit from a different perspective. Again, pharmacy, so doctor prescribed, pharmacy dispensed. We are exporting finished products out of Australia to supply to the UK market. The vast majority, or a majority of our largest customers, have already set up operations in the UK market. We're supplying to them ex-Australia. As soon as the operations are switched on in the Scottish borders to manufacture, we'll supply them directly out of the UK.
And over the next 12 months, what do your shareholders have to look forward to?
Continued growth.
Yeah.
I believe that the market is going to continue to expand here in Australia, as well as into the UK and Germany. There's a number of acquisitions that we are looking at strategically that will give us a further growth into the marketplace as well. The MDMA and the psilocybin side of the manufacturing business is going well and starting to get some traction. It's going to be a very long lead time for that, but the mental health medication in Australia, this is a game changer for a lot of people with mental health issues, and it's a great solution when you've got a drug-resistant depression that you're trying to fight.
You touched on, so I usually end it on that question, but you touched on mental health. It's a very serious and growing matter. Speak to us on how your product helps.
I'm no expert in this, but from what I understand, and the simplest way to put it from what I've read is, it's a bit like when your computer malfunctions, you reboot. And I think the way the MDMA and the psilocybin works is it helps, along with a psychiatrist-led intervention. It helps you reset your mind and allows a fair number of the issues that you might be fighting with regards to depression or PTSD be overcome as a result.
Okay, so many of us, when we go to bed, we have like a million thoughts on our minds. Will this calm that down? Like
it's probably not for that element. It's more from the point of view of drug resistant depression or PTSD, where they've been fighting it for a long time, and the existing medications that are available from big pharma aren't working or don't have any impact.
And lastly, I've been looking at the farm, like cannabis stocks, for years now, and big pharma hasn't come to the party. Do you envisage a time when big pharma says, "I want to, take out a company like yours. You've done all the hard work. The regulations are a little bit easier now. You're primed to be taken over," or companies similar to yours?
Oh, potentially, yeah. I'm sure that big pharma are looking at the opportunity in all respects all the time. I don't think that at this stage big pharma would have an interest in the cannabis space. As I mentioned earlier, they aren't focusing on the cannabis space because one, there's no IP protection, and two, the biggest market in the world is gone recreational, which is the US. Once the European markets are opened up and the GMP manufacturing opportunities are being leveraged, of which we are a GMP manufacturer, then that would mean that the big pharma would be more focused on what we are as a total package. Yeah, we're a GMP licensed manufacturer. We're being held to the highest standard with regards to product manufacture. We're following the correct processes to provide a medication to patients. We will be looking to expand our product offering as part of that process. The MDMA and the psilocybin are part of that, but there's others that we can also pursue as well.
Myself and my clients and the audience out there, keep your eye out on Bioxyne. Jason, thanks for coming on board. I really appreciate it. Kiss.